Pope Francis has done it again. The world is buzzing with his latest revelation, a stunning truth about Jesus that could shake the very foundations of Christianity. What did he say? Why now? And what does it mean for the millions of faithful around the globe? This is not just another statement. It's a potential turning point in religious history. Imagine discovering something so profound that it changes everything you thought you knew about your faith. That's exactly what Pope Francis has done. What is this shocking truth about Jesus? How will it impact the Catholic Church and the broader Christian community? Could this revelation redefine the very essence of Christian belief? Stay with us as we unravel this groundbreaking revelation, dissect its implications, and explore the reactions it has elicited from all corners of the world. In recent years, Pope Francis has been a figure of transformation within the Catholic Church. Known for his progressive views and willingness to address controversial topics, he has often been at the center of both admiration and criticism. His latest revelation about Jesus, however, has taken the world by storm. Today, we delve into the details of this revelation, exploring its historical context, the potential implications for believers, and the diverse reactions it has sparked. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, has been a beacon of change since he ascended to the papacy in 2013. From his humble beginnings in Buenos Aires to becoming the first Jesuit pope, his journey is marked by a commitment to social justice, humility, and reform. His tenure has been characterized by an openness to dialogue and a willingness to confront challenging issues head-on. This backdrop of transformation sets the stage for understanding the weight of his latest revelation. To appreciate the magnitude of Pope Francis's statement, we must first understand the traditional views on Jesus that have been held for centuries. The teachings of Jesus Christ form the bedrock of Christian faith, with his life and words meticulously documented and revered in the New Testament. Over millennia, these teachings have been interpreted, debated, and canonized into what we now accept as Christian doctrine. But what happens when a new perspective, especially one from the highest authority in the Catholic Church, challenges these long-held beliefs? Unlike any of his predecessors, Pope Francis has consistently shown a willingness to question and reinterpret traditional doctrines in light of modern understanding and compassion. His encyclicals and public addresses often emphasize mercy, inclusiveness, and the need for the Church to evolve. In this light, his revelation about Jesus can be seen as part of a broader effort to make the Church more relevant and accessible to contemporary believers. So, what exactly did Pope Francis reveal that has everyone talking? In a recent homily, the Pope suggested a new understanding of Jesus' mission and message. He emphasized aspects of Jesus' life that had been less highlighted, such as his radical inclusiveness and his emphasis on social justice. According to the Pope, this new focus could shift the Church's approach to many contemporary issues, aligning it more closely with the needs and realities of today's world. As we prepare to delve deeper into this revelation, think about what this means for the Catholic Church, for Christians worldwide, and for anyone interested in the intersection of faith and modern life. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Christianity? How will different factions within the Church react? And what does it mean for the future of religious practice and belief? Stay tuned as we explore these questions and more in the following sections, where we will break down the specifics of Pope Francis's statement, analyze its implications, and hear from various voices within the religious community. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, has had a remarkable journey that led him to become the 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. Growing up in a humble household, young Jorge showed a deep interest in the Jesuit order and pursued a path of spirituality and service from an early age. His commitment to the Church was evident as he entered the Society of Jesus in 1958, beginning a life dedicated to faith, education, and pastoral work. After his ordination as a priest in 1969, Bergoglio rapidly ascended through the ranks of the Jesuits, taking on significant roles such as novice master, professor, and rector of the philosophical and theological faculty of San Miguel. His leadership and vision earned him recognition, leading to his appointment as auxiliary bishop of Buenos Aires in 1992. By 1998, he was serving as the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. a role that expanded his influence and responsibilities. In 2001, he was made a cardinal by Pope John Paul II, further solidifying his standing within the Church. Known for his humility and dedication to the poor, Cardinal Bergoglio was seen as a reformist, advocating for social justice and a simpler lifestyle for clergy members. His work in Argentina set the stage for his election as Pope in 2013, following the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI. Since becoming Pope Francis, he has brought significant changes to the Catholic Church, emphasizing mercy, humility, and outreach to the marginalized. His papacy has been marked by a focus on environmental issues, as seen in his encyclical Laudato Si, which calls for global action on climate change and environmental stewardship. Additionally, he has worked to address economic inequality, advocating for policies that support the poor and marginalized. Pope Francis has also made strides in reforming the Vatican's bureaucracy, aiming to make it more efficient and transparent. His efforts to address the sexual abuse scandals within the Church have been both praised and criticized, reflecting the complex challenges he faces in modernizing the institution while maintaining its core doctrines. Pope Francis is known for his progressive views on several social issues, which have often placed him at odds with more conservative factions within the Church. He has spoken out in favor of compassion and inclusion for LGBTQ+ individuals, famously stating, "Who am I to judge?" when asked about gay priests. His calls for greater roles for women in the Church and his openness to discussing married priests have sparked significant debate and sometimes resistance. One of the most distinctive aspects of Pope Francis's papacy is his accessibility and connection to everyday people. He has eschewed many of the traditional trappings of papal luxury, choosing to live in a modest guest house rather than the grand apostolic palace. His practice of personally calling individuals who write to him and his frequent engagement with social media platforms have made him a relatable figure in an era where authenticity is highly valued. Pope Francis's influence extends beyond the Catholic Church. He has played a pivotal role in international diplomacy, acting as a mediator in conflicts and fostering dialogue between nations. His involvement in the restoration of diplomatic relations between the United States and Cuba in 2014 is a notable example of his commitment to peace and reconciliation. Furthermore, his emphasis on interfaith dialogue has been instrumental in promoting understanding and cooperation between different religious traditions. By fostering relationships with leaders of various faiths, Pope Francis has sought to build bridges in a world often divided by religious and cultural differences. Fandoan. The teachings and beliefs about Jesus Christ are central to Christian faith. Jesus of Nazareth, believed to be the Son of God, is seen as the Messiah who was prophesied in the Old Testament. Traditional Christian doctrine holds that Jesus was born to the Virgin Mary, performed numerous miracles, was crucified, passed away, and was buried. On the third day he rose again, providing the foundation for the belief in resurrection and eternal life for his followers. The life and teachings of Jesus are documented in the New Testament, particularly in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These texts provide a detailed account of his ministry, including his parables, miracles, and his ultimate sacrifice on the cross. Over centuries, these accounts have been interpreted and codified into the doctrines and creeds that form the bedrock of Christian belief. First, birth and early life. Jesus was born in Bethlehem under humble circumstances, heralded by angels and visited by shepherds and wise men. His early life, particularly his teachings in the temple at age 12, hinted at his divine mission. Second, baptism and temptation. Around the age of 30, Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist in the Jordan River, marking the beginning of his public ministry. This event was followed by a period of temptation in the wilderness, where he fasted for 40 days and resisted the devil's temptations. Third, ministry and miracles. For 3 years, Jesus traveled through Galilee, Judea, and surrounding regions, preaching about the kingdom of God, performing miracles such as healing the sick, raising the dead, and feeding thousands with just a few loaves and fish. His teachings, including the Sermon on the Mount, emphasized love, forgiveness, and repentance. Fourth, passion and crucifixion. Jesus' entry into Jerusalem during Passover week culminated in his arrest, trial, and crucifixion. Betrayed by Judas Iscariot and condemned by Roman authorities, Jesus was crucified at Golgotha. His loss is seen as the ultimate sacrifice for humanity's sins. Finally, resurrection and ascension. According to Christian belief, Jesus rose from the dead on the third day, appearing to his disciples and many others over 40 days. His resurrection is celebrated as Easter, symbolizing victory over lost. He later ascended into heaven, promising to return. Throughout history, theologians have explored and debated the nature and significance of Jesus. The early church fathers, such as Augustine and Athanasius, developed key doctrines like the Trinity and the dual nature of Christ, fully God and fully man. These theological explorations were formalized in the early ecumenical councils, such as Nicaea and Chalcedon, establishing the core beliefs of mainstream Christianity. In addition to these traditional views, various interpretations have emerged over time. The Enlightenment brought a more critical and historical approach to understanding Jesus, focusing on his role as a historical figure. Modern theologians continue to explore the implications of Jesus' teachings in contemporary contexts, considering social justice, liberation theology, and interfaith dialogue. The understanding and portrayal of Jesus have evolved over the centuries. In the medieval period, the emphasis was often on Jesus as the divine king and judge. Art and literature from this era frequently depict Jesus in majestic and authoritative roles. The Renaissance brought a renewed focus on the humanity of Jesus, highlighting his compassion and suffering. The Reformation introduced significant changes in the perception of Jesus, emphasizing personal faith and the authority of Scripture. Protestant reformers like Martin Luther and John Calvin challenged the established church's teachings, leading to diverse interpretations and practices within Christianity. In the modern era, the portrayal of Jesus continues to evolve, reflecting changes in cultural and social contexts. Films, literature, and art from the 20th and 21st centuries often present Jesus as a relatable and revolutionary figure, emphasizing his message of love, equality, and social justice. Christianity is a global faith with diverse cultural expressions. As such, the understanding of Jesus can vary widely across different traditions and communities. For instance, African Christianity often emphasizes Jesus as a liberator and healer, resonating with themes of freedom and deliverance. In Latin America, liberation theology views Jesus as a champion of the poor and oppressed, inspiring social and political movements for justice. Asian Christianity, particularly in countries like India and China, often integrates elements of local philosophies and traditions, presenting Jesus in ways that resonate with indigenous spiritualities. Indigenous Christianities around the world similarly incorporate cultural symbols and practices, offering unique perspectives on Jesus' life and teachings. Understanding the historical views on Jesus provides a crucial backdrop for interpreting Pope Francis's recent revelation. By exploring these traditional teachings, key events, theological perspectives, and diverse cultural expressions, we gain a comprehensive picture of how Jesus has been perceived over the millennia. This context allows us to appreciate the potential impact and significance of new insights and interpretations presented by the Pope. On a seemingly ordinary Sunday, during a homily at St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis delivered a message that would resonate around the world. In a calm yet profound tone, he spoke of a new understanding of Jesus' mission that challenges long-held beliefs. According to the Pope, this revelation does not seek to undermine the foundational teachings of the Church, but to enrich and deepen our understanding of Jesus' true message. Pope Francis emphasized that Jesus' life and ministry were deeply rooted in radical inclusiveness and social justice. He pointed out that many traditional interpretations have overlooked or downplayed these aspects. In his statement, the Pope highlighted specific instances from the Gospels where Jesus reached out to the marginalized, broke societal norms, and preached a message of love that transcended boundaries. This revelation did not come in isolation. It is part of a broader context of ongoing theological discussions and reflections within the Church. Pope Francis has long been an advocate for re-examining and reinterpreting Christian teachings to make them more relevant to contemporary society. His emphasis on mercy, compassion, and inclusiveness has been a hallmark of his papacy. The timing of this revelation is significant. The world is facing unprecedented challenges, from social inequality and racial injustice to environmental crises and global pandemics. In this context, Pope Francis's message resonates deeply, calling for a renewed focus on the core values of love, justice, and inclusivity that Jesus exemplified. The immediate reactions to Pope Francis's statement were mixed, reflecting the diverse perspectives within the Catholic community and beyond. Many praised the Pope for his courage and vision in addressing these critical issues. They saw his revelation as a necessary step towards a more inclusive and compassionate church that can effectively respond to the needs of today's world. However, there were also voices of concern and criticism. Some traditionalists viewed the Pope's statement as a departure from established doctrine, fearing it could lead to confusion and division within the church. They argued that any reinterpretation of Jesus' message should be approached with caution, ensuring that it remains faithful to the core tenets of Christian faith. Pope Francis's revelation has significant theological implications. It invites believers to revisit and reconsider the fundamental aspects of Jesus' teachings. By emphasizing radical inclusiveness and social justice, the Pope challenges us to see Jesus not only as a savior, but also as a revolutionary figure who sought to transform society. This new perspective could lead to changes in how the Church engages with contemporary issues. It may inspire more proactive involvement in social justice movements, advocating for the rights of the marginalized and oppressed. Theological scholars are now tasked with exploring these implications further, integrating them into the broader framework of Christian theology. While Pope Francis has not called for a formal change in doctrine, his revelation could influence future theological developments within the Church. It opens the door for ongoing dialogue and reflection on how the Church can better embody the values that Jesus preached. This could lead to a shift in emphasis in pastoral practices, liturgical expressions, and educational programs within the Church. For instance, greater emphasis might be placed on social justice in church teachings and activities. Parishes could become more involved in community outreach, addressing issues such as poverty, inequality, and discrimination. Educational programs within the Church could incorporate these themes, teaching future generations of Christians to live out the values of inclusiveness and justice. The academic community has already begun to respond to Pope Francis's revelation. Theologians and biblical scholars are examining the Pope's statements, exploring their historical and scriptural foundations. Many are revisiting the Gospels with fresh eyes, seeking to uncover the deeper layers of Jesus' teachings that may have been overlooked or misunderstood. These scholarly interpretations will play a crucial role in shaping the future discourse within the Church. By providing well-researched and thoughtful analyses, scholars can help the Church navigate the complexities of integrating new insights into its traditional framework. Their work will ensure that any developments remain grounded in sound theology and faithful to the essence of Christian belief. The Catholic community's response to Pope Francis's revelation has been varied, reflecting the diversity within the Church itself. Many Catholics have welcomed the Pope's emphasis on inclusiveness and social justice, seeing it as a continuation of his efforts to make the Church more open and responsive to modern issues. These individuals appreciate the Pope's willingness to address contemporary challenges head-on, viewing it as a sign of his progressive leadership. Parishioners in various parts of the world have expressed support for the Pope's message. In regions where social inequality and injustice are prevalent, the Pope's call for inclusiveness resonates deeply. Many see it as a reaffirmation of their own struggles and a powerful endorsement from the highest authority in the Church. However, not all reactions have been positive. Some conservative Catholics view the Pope's statements with skepticism, concerned that such a radical reinterpretation of Jesus' teachings could lead to confusion and doctrinal uncertainty. These individuals argue that while the Church should be responsive to contemporary issues, it must also remain faithful to its core teachings and traditions. They fear that too much change could undermine the stability and unity of the Church. The media has played a significant role in amplifying the impact of Pope Francis's revelation. Major news outlets around the world have covered the Pope's statements extensively, often highlighting the potential for significant change within the Catholic Church. Headlines have ranged from celebratory to critical, reflecting the broad spectrum of public opinion. Television programs, newspapers, and online platforms have featured debates and discussions about the implications of the Pope's revelation. Experts and commentators from various fields have weighed in, offering diverse perspectives on how the Pope's message might influence not only the Catholic Church, but also the broader religious and social landscape. Social media has also been abuzz with reactions to the Pope's revelation. Hashtags related to the Pope's statements have trended on platforms like Twitter, with users from around the world sharing their thoughts and opinions. This digital dialogue has brought together people from different backgrounds and beliefs, fostering a global conversation about the future of the Church. Religious leaders within and outside the Catholic Church have also responded to Pope Francis's revelation. Many have praised the Pope for his boldness and vision, seeing his statements as a step towards greater inclusiveness and social justice. Leaders of other Christian denominations have expressed hope that this revelation will inspire similar reflections within their own communities, promoting a more unified and compassionate Christian witness. However, some religious leaders have expressed concerns about the potential implications of the Pope's statements. They worry that such a significant shift in perspective could lead to doctrinal confusion and division within the Church. These leaders emphasize the need for careful discernment and dialogue as the Church navigates these new insights. The academic community has also responded to Pope Francis's revelation with a range of perspectives. Theologians and religious scholars are analyzing the Pope's statements, exploring their historical and scriptural foundations. Many are engaging in rigorous debates about the theological implications of the Pope's message, considering how it might influence future developments within the Church. Some scholars view the Pope's revelation as a natural evolution of Christian theology, reflecting a deeper understanding of Jesus' teachings in the context of contemporary issues. They argue that this new perspective can enrich the Church's tradition, providing fresh insights and inspiring meaningful change. Others, however, caution against moving too quickly to embrace these new interpretations. They emphasize the importance of grounding any theological developments in a careful and thorough examination of historical and scriptural evidence. These scholars call for a balanced approach that respects the Church's traditions while also being open to new insights. Ordinary Catholics around the world have also shared their thoughts on Pope Francis's revelation. Many lay Catholics have expressed admiration for the Pope's willingness to address challenging issues and his focus on inclusiveness and social justice. They see his statements as a reflection of his deep compassion and commitment to making the Church more relevant and responsive to modern concerns. In local communities, Catholics have gathered to discuss the Pope's revelation, reflecting on its implications for their own lives and faith practices. These conversations often highlight the diverse perspectives within the Catholic community, with some individuals embracing the Pope's message enthusiastically, while others approach it with caution. The varied reactions to Pope Francis's revelation suggest that its long-term impact will depend on how the Church and its followers navigate these new insights. If the Church can find a way to integrate the Pope's emphasis on inclusiveness and social justice into its teachings and practices, it could lead to significant positive changes. This might involve developing new pastoral initiatives, educational programs, and community outreach efforts that reflect the Pope's vision. However, the Church must also address the concerns of those who fear that such changes could lead to doctrinal confusion or division. By engaging in open and respectful dialogue, the Church can work towards a balanced approach that honors its traditions while also embracing new insights. Pope Francis's revelation has sparked a wide range of reactions from within the Catholic Church and beyond. While many have welcomed his emphasis on inclusiveness and social justice, others have expressed concern about the potential implications for Church doctrine and unity. As the Church navigates these new insights, it will be crucial to engage in thoughtful dialogue and reflection, ensuring that any developments remain grounded in a faithful understanding of Jesus' teachings. Throughout history, the Catholic Church has witnessed several pivotal moments where new interpretations or revelations have challenged traditional beliefs. These moments often sparked significant debate and sometimes led to profound changes within the Church. One notable example is the Second Vatican Council, 1962-1965, commonly known as Vatican II. Vatican II brought about sweeping reforms in the Church, emphasizing greater engagement with the modern world and promoting ecumenism, the principle of unity among Christian churches. The Council addressed issues such as liturgical practices, the role of the laity, and the Church's stance on religious freedom. The changes implemented during Vatican II were met with both enthusiasm and resistance, much like the current reactions to Pope Francis's revelation. Another historical precedent is the Reformation, initiated by Martin Luther in the 16th century. Although it led to a significant split within Christianity, the Reformation challenged the Catholic Church to re-examine its practices and doctrines, ultimately resulting in the Counter-Reformation and significant internal reforms. Pope Francis's revelation can be compared to these historical moments in terms of its potential to influence the Church's direction. Like Vatican II and the Reformation, the Pope's emphasis on inclusiveness and social justice challenges the Church to adapt to contemporary realities. This adaptation requires a careful balance between maintaining core doctrines and embracing new insights that can make the Church more relevant and impactful in today's world. The Copernican revolution in the 16th century is another parallel. When Nicolaus Copernicus proposed that the Earth revolves around the Sun, it challenged the geocentric view held by the Church. This scientific revelation required the Church to reconcile new scientific knowledge with traditional teachings, leading to significant intellectual and theological shifts. Historically, the Church's ability to integrate new revelations and insights has often determined its resilience and relevance. The reforms of Vatican II, for instance, revitalized the Church and helped it to engage more effectively with a rapidly changing world. By embracing changes while remaining rooted in core beliefs, the Church was able to appeal to a broader audience and address contemporary issues more effectively. Similarly, the Reformation and subsequent Counter-Reformation led to a revitalization of the Catholic Church. The Council of Trent, 1545-1563, reaffirmed key doctrines while addressing abuses and implementing reforms in response to the challenges posed by the Protestant Reformation. This period of reflection and renewal ultimately strengthened the Church's foundations. Pope Francis's revelation presents both challenges and opportunities for the Church. The challenge lies in addressing the concerns of those who fear that such changes could lead to doctrinal confusion or division. Ensuring that any new interpretations remain faithful to the core teachings of Christianity is essential for maintaining the Church's unity and integrity. At the same time, this revelation offers the opportunity to make the Church more inclusive and responsive to the needs of contemporary society. By emphasizing social justice and inclusiveness, the Church can become a powerful advocate for the marginalized and oppressed, reflecting the compassionate and transformative message of Jesus. The long-term impacts of Pope Francis's revelation will depend on how the Church navigates this period of reflection and adaptation. If the Church can successfully integrate these new insights into its teachings and practices, it could lead to a more dynamic and engaged faith community. This could attract new followers, particularly among younger generations, who are often drawn to issues of social justice and inclusivity. Furthermore, the emphasis on inclusiveness could foster greater unity and cooperation among different Christian denominations. By focusing on common goals such as social justice, the Church can work towards healing divisions and promoting a more cohesive Christian witness. History teaches us that significant revelations and reforms often come with challenges, but also offer the potential for profound positive change. The Church's ability to embrace new insights while remaining grounded in its core teachings has been a key factor in its resilience and longevity. Pope Francis's revelation, like those before it, invites the Church to embark on a journey of reflection, dialogue, and renewal. By learning from past experiences, the Church can navigate this period of change with wisdom and grace, engaging in open and respectful dialogue, addressing concerns, and finding common ground will be essential for moving forward. By doing so, the Church can continue to be a beacon of hope and compassion in a complex and changing world. Pope Francis's revelation about Jesus is not unprecedented in the history of the Catholic Church. Similar moments of insight and reinterpretation have often led to significant change and renewal. By examining historical precedents, we can gain valuable insights into how the Church might navigate this latest revelation, balancing the need for continuity with the call for adaptation. As the Church reflects on Pope Francis's message, it has the opportunity to embrace a more inclusive and justice-oriented approach, staying true to the transformative spirit of Jesus' teachings. This journey of reflection and renewal can lead to a stronger, more vibrant faith community that is well equipped to address the challenges and opportunities of the modern world. Finally, Pope Francis's revelation encourages personal and communal reflection on the meaning of the crucifixion. Believers are invited to contemplate the ethical and moral dimensions of Jesus' lost, and to consider how they can embody his teachings in their own lives. This reflection can lead to a deeper and more authentic faith that is grounded in both tradition and contemporary relevance. By re-examining the crucifixion through a socio-political lens, believers can gain a richer understanding of Jesus' mission and message. This perspective calls for a faith that is not only contemplative, but also active, inspiring Christians to work towards a more just and compassionate world. As we continue to explore the reactions and interpretations of Pope Francis's statements, let us remain open to the insights and challenges they present. By engaging with these ideas, we can deepen our faith and commitment to justice, compassion, and solidarity, following the example of Jesus and his transformative teachings. The public and media reaction to Pope Francis's revelation about Jesus' lost has been as diverse and dynamic as the content of the revelation itself. From religious scholars to everyday believers, the Pope's statements have provoked a wide range of responses, reflecting the complexity and sensitivity of the topic. The media has been quick to cover Pope Francis's statements, with headlines capturing the provocative nature of his revelation. Major news outlets, both religious and secular, have reported extensively on the Pope's comments. Articles and opinion pieces have explored the potential implications of his statements, highlighting the historical and theological context. Some media outlets have praised Pope Francis for his courage in addressing such a contentious topic, lauding his willingness to challenge traditional narratives and encourage deeper reflection. Others, however, have criticized him, arguing that his statements could lead to confusion and division within the Church. The media's portrayal of the Pope's revelation has thus mirrored the broader public reaction, oscillating between admiration and skepticism. Religious leaders and theologians have also weighed in on Pope Francis's revelation. Some have expressed support, viewing his statements as a necessary re-examination of the crucifixion. They argue that by incorporating socio-political factors, the Pope provides a richer, more comprehensive understanding of Jesus' lost that resonates with contemporary issues of justice and compassion. Others, however, have voiced concern that Pope Francis's perspective might undermine traditional theological interpretations. They fear that focusing too much on the socio-political aspects could detract from the divine significance of the crucifixion. These leaders emphasize the need to balance historical context with spiritual truths, ensuring that the mystery of Jesus' lost remains central to Christian faith. Social media platforms have been abuzz with discussions about Pope Francis's revelation. Hashtags related to the topic have trended as users share their thoughts, interpretations, and emotions. The online discourse has been vibrant and multifaceted, reflecting a global community grappling with the implications of the Pope's statements. Supporters of Pope Francis have used social media to express their appreciation for his boldness and insight. They share articles, quotes, and personal reflections, emphasizing the importance of re-examining historical events through a modern lens. Critics, on the other hand, have voiced their reservations, questioning the theological soundness of the Pope's perspective and its potential impact on the biblical teachings. Academic journals and theological forums have seen an influx of articles and debates inspired by Pope Francis's revelation. Scholars from various disciplines have analyzed the Pope's statements, exploring their historical accuracy, theological implications, and potential consequences for the Christians. These scholarly contributions have added depth and rigor to the public discourse, providing a range of perspectives and insights. Debates have centered on the integration of historical and theological analysis, with scholars discussing the merits and limitations of Pope Francis's approach. While some view it as a valuable contribution to contemporary theology, others caution against overemphasizing the socio-political dimensions at the expense of spiritual understanding. Among the general public, reactions have varied widely. Some believers have found Pope Francis's revelation to be a source of inspiration, prompting them to reflect more deeply on their faith and its relevance to modern social issues. They appreciate the Pope's willingness to address complex topics and to encourage a more engaged and active faith. Conversely, others have struggled with the implications of his statements, feeling uneasy about the potential departure from traditional beliefs. This discomfort highlights the challenge of reconciling historical analysis with deeply held spiritual convictions, a tension that Pope Francis's revelation brings to the forefront. The public and media reaction to Pope Francis's revelation about Jesus' lost underscores the significance and sensitivity of his statements. By sparking widespread discussion and debate, the Pope has prompted a re-examination of the crucifixion that resonates with contemporary concerns about justice, compassion, and historical understanding. As we move to the conclusion, we will summarize the key points of the revelation and its implications,